One more second. I just want to check on something. Sorry. One more second. I just want to check on something. Sorry. Okay. One more second. I just want to check on something. I don't know what's going on. Okay, we're ready to start. Okay.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to.
Oh my God. I don't know what's going on here. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
We're ready to start. God.
Do you want me to record it, Howard, or you got it?
I don't know what's happening.
I'm recording.
What's going on here? I'm sorry.
I'm recording, Michael.
It's okay.
Ready to start.
Do you want me to record it, Howard, or you got it?
We have it at this end. That's not the issue. The issue is that.
I'm recording. I'm recording, Michael.
Could we just hold this for a couple of seconds?
Sure.
Sorry.
Do you want me to record it, Howard, or you got it?
We have it at this end. That's not the issue. The issue
It's repeating, Howard. Do you want to mute while you solve that?
Yeah.
I'm recording, Michael.
Could we?
Hi, everyone. Well, we get that figured out. We want to welcome you all to the Department of Architecture graduation. I hope you've had a great day. It's beautiful here. It's been great to see people coming in person for graduation. I'm Michael Zaretsky. I'm the department head for architecture. I'm thrilled to be here with all of you. Wanted to let you all know that this is being recorded and it will be available for those who are not able to make it. If you have any issue with being recorded, please feel free to mute your camera or change your name or whatever. I wanted to start by offering many thanks, first of all, to Professor Howard Davis, who has coordinated this, which is no easy task, and we really appreciate that. I think he's dealing with a few additional technical difficulties at the moment, but will join us soon. He's had great help from students Adrian Bechtel and Jenna Wheeler. Thank you so much. I want to take a moment to appreciate my beautiful Zoom background that Professor Ihab Elziadi shared with me, created by the Solar Decathlon team. I just love it. I want to urge everyone, you can use the speaker view if you want. That will probably work better, so you can just see who's speaking at a given time as opposed to the gallery view. And we urge you to please mute, and if you're having any bandwidth issues, feel free to turn off your cameras. I want to take a few minutes just to send an incredible amount of appreciation to all of our faculty and staff and students who have gotten to this point. It's been a huge year for everyone. And the theme of this year's graduation is resilience, and it's absolutely appropriate. Everyone has had to really find new resources to make it through, and it's exciting to see the successes that we're seeing in the students' work and in their steps in the future, which we've been hearing wonderful stories about. And of course, I want to specifically congratulate all of our graduating students. We're so proud of you. We're so excited to see where you're headed after these steps. Please keep in touch. Please come back often, or if you're here in Eugene, please come and visit often. And we look forward to seeing all of our ducks head out into the world. I'd like to introduce our dean, Adrian Parr. We're thrilled to have you. Thanks for joining the graduation. Adrian, take it away.
Well, it's a delight to be here, and thank you everybody for having me here today. I look like I'm the most casual dressed member of the group, but I wanted to be in spirit. So go Ducks go. And I wanted to congratulate in particular all our students who are graduating today. So everybody, please join me with bringing our hands together. You folks have really, really gone above and beyond this year. You have managed to complete your studies. You are, I mean, as the theme of this year's graduation goes, you would have to certainly win the honor of being the most resilient class and the most resilient graduating class, not just here at the University of Oregon, but alongside many other graduates across the country who managed to sort of hang in there and continue doing all the wonderful, creative, hard work that will come to characterize this year's graduating class. I'm extremely excited for you as you begin this next chapter in your life and you head out there into the world. And please, as you do so, remember us. We are really excited to be able to follow you on your journey as you sort of enter the profession, or if you're thinking about going on to further studies, please remember we are always here for you and cheering you on every step of the way. Stay in touch. I, in particular, would really, really love to just even a general note that you could send us to let us know where you've landed and what you're up to, because it's really important. Your faculty have made long-lasting friendships, I believe, with all of you. And I know that they would also be tickled pink to be able to stay in touch. So once again, thank you for choosing us. You have changed us. And I hope that we have made a long-lasting impact, positive impact on your life as you head out into this next phase. So well done. And please remember to stay in touch. Our doors are always open for you.
Thank you, Adrienne. I want to just take a brief moment to tell everyone a little bit about our department. We have a Bachelor of Architecture, an accredited Bachelor of Architecture. We also have a Master of Architecture, both a Track 1 and Track 2, with students graduating from all these programs, both in Eugene and Portland, and then Master of Science and PhD. And this year, we have an incredible number of graduates. We have 59 Bachelor of Architecture students graduating from Eugene and Portland combined. We have 41 Master of Architecture students graduating. We have one Master of Science in Architecture student graduating, and a record three PhD students graduating this year. So I want to leave a moment for everyone to take a look at the list of all our graduates. It's just absolutely amazing. All of you who have persevered and made it through this past year. It is such an exciting time to be graduating, and we're just absolutely thrilled for all of you. So again, more cheers for all of you. We have an incredible honor to have one of our amazing alumni speaking with us today. This is Christina Bolo. She's an alumna both of our MArch program from 2002 and our PhD program from 2015. She's now on the architecture faculty at the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. She teaches design and applied theory, and she focuses on health and well-being in the built environment. Her research investigates the role of housing policy in shaping housing design and the role of housing design in the health and well-being of residents. We're incredibly proud of her, and we're thrilled that she was open to speaking to all of us today. So thank you.
Thank you, Michael. I pre-recorded my talk. I believe Howard is probably queuing it up right now so that I could wear my regalia. I'm traveling this summer, and I did not want to somehow stuff an Oregon regalia into a Thule box on top of my car. So I'm here live. If anything goes wrong, I can give the speech without the regalia, but hopefully that's getting queued up.
Thank you, Christina. Thank you so much. Howard, should we have Christina go ahead and give this live? I'm concerned he got caught up in some sort of infinite loop that was started earlier.
While we wait, can I just quickly let everybody know in the chat that I've shared the link where you can register to become a DUC alumni. So please feel free to copy the link.
I could share my screen with the video.
Go ahead, Jenna.
Greetings and congratulations to the class of 2021, University of Oregon Architecture. As a double alumna, I will speak to you today about the ways that Oregon Architecture is like no other program, about the ways your education is absolutely unique, whether you are receiving your BArch or your MArch, your MS or PhD. I will shine a brief light on these distinctive aspects today. Some you may already know. You may have initially chosen Oregon for some of these reasons. Others are aspects I only realized after I left, when I worked alongside colleagues from other programs, when I started teaching in a different school of architecture, and when I review at other institutions. I am constantly amazed at the singularity of our education. The first and most glaring aspect I am sad to report is that outside Oregon architecture, environmental sustainability is still not the norm. As an Oregon grad, you will likely be the most knowledgeable in the room. There are things you took for granted here, like knowing where the sun rises, or how to calculate the R value of a wall, or how to choose complementary passive and active systems for your project. Your colleagues may be catching up. But don't rest. You have the foundation to be a true expert. So grab any opportunities to learn more so you can lead us to a more resilient world. Next, and related, Oregon architects believe that constructability and creativity are interrelated. They are not at odds, but actually enhance each other. Responsible design, design that uses materials wisely and is resource efficient, is elegant design. There are likely other topics you've learned here that are unique to Oregon. For me personally, housing expertise mattered. I came to architecture via an interest in housing, and Oregon's history in this area continues to serve me so well. On the other hand, enclosures nearly killed me. I did not do well, but it still made me one of the most adept detailers at every firm I worked at. I have also found that there are seemingly procedural, systemic things about this school that have greatly enhanced my life as an architect. Most notably, Oregon's pass-fail studios make us better designers and, importantly, better collaborators. Competition and perceived scarcity can lead to isolation and sometimes even resentment. At Oregon, you had the freedom to take risks, to make mistakes in studio, and to branch out into new areas of knowledge, and to celebrate your friends' successes as you celebrate your own. I also benefited from the quarter system, something I understand most viscerally now that I teach on this semester. In a quarter, you have learned to hit the ground running at the start of each term, and you know how to create a schematic design in a time frame not dissimilar to our profession. There is no time for slow starts in a 10-week quarter like there are in a 16-week semester. Oregon Architecture welcomed me as a student twice, even though both times I felt like a fish out of water. This is because the program honors pivots. We have a thriving Track 1 program across dozens of disciplines that said yes to this English major. A PhD program that cheers practitioners like me who seek to create new knowledge through research. Oregon Architecture makes the most of professional education with a Track 2 program that, by definition, only has students from the myriad undergraduate design programs outside of Eugene, and one of the strongest BArch programs in the country, where you are all able to start studio in your freshman year. So congratulations to all of you, whether you pivoted or have always been on a level path, whether a BArch or MArch. And whatever your next steps, I truly believe your education has prepared you so well to contribute positively to our built environment. As you start your job search, I want to share a bit of advice. Back in 2009, Peter Keyes introduced me to a BArch grad and said, if your firm can hire one person, this is the person. But it was 2009. There were no jobs. We weren't hiring one person. But this student of Peter's, she and I met, we had tea, and a couple of days later, she sent me a thank you note. It had a really cool image on the front, so I pinned it to the wall above my computer monitor. It was still there about a year later when we had an opening at the firm, and I emailed her, and we hired her. She is a very talented, hardworking person, and I am absolutely not saying that the thank you note got her a job, but it definitely got her a job faster. And to the PhD and MS candidates, a different type of advice. To be here today, I recognize that you all carefully balanced your own research with teaching or conducting research for other people or service to your country. And this was hard, and it's about to get harder. My counsel to you is to always pay yourself first. Lovingly maintain your own thread of inquiry. Tend to your projects like flowers. As you begin your next stage, wake up and work on your work before you do work for someone or something else. Write a single paragraph before you return that email. It is very easy to lose ourselves post-PhD, but it's much less likely if we nurture our ideas. So to end my talk today, I have a suggestion for each of you. As architects, we are the creators and curators of material culture, the creators of the real. On the day your very real diploma arrives in its do not bend envelope, have a private but real life celebration. In this year of the virtual, I urge you to hold onto something visceral to mark your great accomplishment. A branch from a Douglas fir, a tassel, the master's cowl, or if you're getting the PhD, consider the bright green gown with 3 green stripes, unique in all the world, just like Oregon. Thank you for inviting me to speak to you today, and congratulations.
Thank you so much, Christina. That was fantastic. And I think, learning ventriloquism was also really amazing. We're very, very proud of you. No, seriously, that was truly a fantastic thoughts, and your expertise in so many areas and your experience are so valuable for all of us. So we really, really appreciate you taking time to come back and speak with everyone today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're going to begin with our hooding of our PhD students. This is, as I said, I think a record to have 3 PhD students in 1 year. Is that correct, Allison? Yeah. We are very proud of each and every one of them. The first is going to be Mark Gillum, speaking about Lindsay Deaton.
Lindsay Nicole Deaton is awarded a Doctor of Philosophy in Architecture for her dissertation, No Place to Play, Studies of How Adolescents Use Public Space in Dispossessed Communities. Scholars agree that public space is essential for adolescents living in low-income communities. However, design professionals struggle to justify public space in resource-constrained environments, such as rapidly growing cities. As competition for space heats up, low-income communities are often pushed out or squeezed in through complex neoliberal processes that can be generally described as forms of forced dispossession, the taking of land, to make way for new development. Lindsay's research examined the role of public space in the lives of 73 adolescents residing in 7 dispossessed communities across 2 rapidly growing cities, Hyderabad, India, and Manila, Philippines. She collected and analyzed over 1,000 photographs and 40 maps made by adolescents, as well as 178 hours of audio recordings in 6 languages with adolescents, adults, designers, and government officials to determine how adolescents use space outside of their home and school. She found that urban planning processes of dispossession often oppresses girls' environmental affordances and space spatial mobilities more than any other subgroup. Therefore, she calls for architects and planners to work with adolescents, especially adolescent girls, to understand the power structures within each community. Her dissertation received the 2021 Environmental Design Research Association's Great Places Research Award and was supported by the Julie and Rocky Dixon Fellowship and the Silk Fellowship. Her dissertation committee is chaired by Professor Mark Gillum, with members Professor Howard Davis, Professor Jason Hackworth, and Professor Raul Levanos.
Congratulations, Dr. Deaton.
Fantastic. Congratulations, Lindsay. We next are very proud to confer a PhD to Niati Naik. And Dr. Ihab El-Ziadi is going to be leading this. Thank you.
Niati Naik is awarded a Doctor of Philosophy in Architecture for her dissertation, Hide and Seek, Thermal Anesthesia Inside Solar Screen Perimeter Offices. Niati explored thermal comfort and pleasure inside office spaces using dynamic solar screens as passive architectural systems to control the indoor environment. Niati employed a multi-method approach comprising of a meta-analysis of solar screen performance from previous findings, observational field study, computational simulations, indoor environmental monitoring, and experiments involving human participants inside mock-up perimeter offices with dynamic and static screen configurations. She measured and analyzed the physical, environmental, physiological, and psychological responses in the screen offices to find that dense dynamic screens designed to create variability in the indoor thermal environment within the limits of the thermal comfort zone may influence thermal pleasure. Her work contributes to occupant-centric building performance research by describing an approach to design shading systems that cater to occupants' thermal pleasure and multi-comfort. Her work has been published in national and international conference proceedings. Her paper describing the part of the findings from this work was recently published in the high-impact journal Building Research and Information. Niati is a recipient of the prestigious Graduate School Dissertation Award and the ARCC King Medal for Excellence in Architectural Research. Her dissertation committee is Professor Ihab El-Ziadi as chair, Professor Christopher Minson, Professor Virginia Cartwright, and Professor June Huck-Lee as committee members.
Congratulations, Niati. And now our third PhD student, it's just incredible to have 3 graduating. We're so proud of you. Subak Shretha, congratulations, and Mark Gillum will be conferring.
Subik Kumar Shrestha is awarded a Doctor of Philosophy degree in architecture for his dissertation, A Historical Inquiry into the Failure of Downtown Eugene's Pedestrian Mall Strategy to Revitalize the Retail Core from 1971 to 2002. Subik found that among the many reasons associated with Eugene Mall's failure, the prominent ones were related to the drastic and sudden alteration to the existing built fabric, several aspects of the mall's design, dislocation of large numbers of small retail businesses, and the growth of outer city areas compared to the central city. Subik's dissertation successfully synthesized relevant methodologies and topics associated with American urban and architectural studies, specifically regarding the historical processes of city transformation and formation, design, and planning. His research involved a mixed methods approach, including archival research, interviews, mapping, spatial analysis, and statistical analysis. He studied over 500 newspaper articles, almost 100 reports and other documents, and analyzed maps and retail business directories across 8 different years. His dissertation committee included Professor Hyo Nice, Professor John Rao, Professor Ocean Howell, and Professor Howard Davis, who acted as committee chair and Subik's principal advisor. Congratulations, Dr. Shrestha. Subik Kumar Shrestha is awarded a Doctor.
Well, thank you all, and thank you to all our faculty who have worked with these students for years, and we're just so thrilled at the research that's happening, and we look forward to, again, seeing what all of you are going to do in the future. We're now going to have some remarks by the 5 Terminal Studio faculty professors from Eugene. The Terminal Studios are the final culminating studio in our education in both the BARC and MARC programs. And we have 5 studios that were held this year in Eugene. And first, we're going to have Professor Howard Davis.
Thank you very much, Michael. I'd like to reiterate Michael's welcome to the families and friends and partners of our graduates, and offer my own congratulations to our graduates themselves. They've just experienced a year and a half that they could not possibly have foreseen when they signed up for architecture school. We've had a pandemic that has not yet gone away, an economic crisis, forest fires, a contentious presidential election, and the continuing fight against inequality and injustice. And all this has been happening as the Earth's climate continues its relentless transformations. The students graduating today are well aware of the context in which they've been working. The studio theme that I set for my group, a project that could help support a more equitable and healthy and local food system, was prompted partly by news images at the beginning of the pandemic of miles-long lines of cars at food banks in many American cities. And the students rose to the challenge with their own ideas and a good deal of energy and creativity in their projects. They didn't have it easy in the way they needed to work, connected to their peers and their instructor only via a Zoom screen. But these are Oregon students who are committed to working within the contexts of the big problems we face and to contributing to the solutions. And those commitments of our students, as I like to point out, are supported by attitude for each other, by intellectual and professional generosity, and by a selflessness that prevents their egos from getting in the way of the most appropriate architectural solutions. This is what makes our architecture department unique, and I'm continually grateful for the fact that I'm a part of this community and that I can work with the people I do. Thanks to all of our students, and congratulations to all.
Thank you so much, Howard. That was great. We now have Professor Mark D'Onofrio who will speak.
Thanks, Michael. I would like to start by saying thank you. Thank you to the students. Their ability to navigate this past year with grace, compassion, and patience was truly inspiring. I would like to thank colleagues, both past and present, as well as former students who helped enrich the experience of the past 2 terms through their involvement in our studio. One positive outcome of this way of working was the ability to invite and engage with a more diverse pool of collaborators than we might otherwise have been able to. These past 2 terms, my students and I focused our attentions on a very special corner of the world, Tillamook, the lovely town on the north coast of Oregon. We asked some very fundamental questions about how architecture, and more generally design, might allow us to intervene in a place and impact positive change. But this study could have happened anywhere and will continue wherever you choose to direct your attention next. As you go out to hone your craft and practice, I implore you to continue to seek out opportunities to apply this craft at a variety of scales, not only in the work you do, but also in your personal life, in your family, in your community, and beyond. Use the models, methods, and metrics that this discipline equips you with to build a better future for yourself and for all your fellow humans. Thank you, congratulations, and cheers.
Thank you so much, Mark. We now have Professor Esther Hagenlacher.
Hello, everybody. Wonderful to see you. I'd like to echo what Howard and Mark already said. Thank you very much to everybody special thanks for Howard for getting that all pulled together. I'd like to talk a little bit about our studio. When it started with a call from Portland asking about the school for a neighborhood, a minority minority communities. And we talked about a lot of engagement with neighborhoods and people and blah, blah, blah. And the more we moved forward, the more COVID moved forward and the school project became a silent school. And we also realized that the school becomes more a community resource than anything else in times like that. So another site came up that we worked on. This was in Stuttgart, celebrating the 100 years anniversary of the Waldorf education. And so we were playing with those two sites. And again, as COVID moved forward, we looked back with envy, but we didn't take it with a sad note. We took it with a bright note. And we realized that architecture is something slow, built up over century, as education is. And so I'm really proud that the students started to look into key figures like Pestalozzi, Schiller, Baden-Powell's, Fröbel, all those people, Montessori, Steiner, that were not only having an idea, they also put it into reality and into a school project. And I'm very happy that I can say that all of the students came up with a unique idea for their school. None is the same, not only just a little bit different. It is like, of course, always the school as a teacher, but it's also the person in the school, how the children move around the school, that matters a lot. And what I'm very happy about, what I learned from the student, when I asked what was important for you when you went to school, one student said to me, meeting my friends. And I think that is wonderful. And that's what we missed the most in the last year, that we could meet each other. And I think that's what I hope for the future, that this can be enforced more in our work and in our projects. And I thank everybody. Congratulations to the students. And of course, I have to say, rock and roll.
Thanks so much, Esther. And we now have Professor Peter Keyes speaking about his last studio as a full-time professor here. Peter is going to be retiring, and there's a lot of sadness about this. He has been a huge part of our institution, and he will be dearly missed. Peter?
Michael, thank you. We're continuing. It's been a strange year. Nothing has been normal. And so Judith and I decided an important tradition to have is that some people should wear silly clothes. And it just wouldn't be a graduation without that. So here we are. And I'm wearing my Oregon mortarboard with the passive ventilation and all of that. Anyway, it's been a very strange year. The students have labored under the circumstances where they separated from their friends. There's studio members that still haven't worked together. Just crank that down. And they still managed to do amazing work. They still managed to be focused. They still managed to engage. They managed to form an online community, really, working through the studio. And it was a wonderful thing to see. Our project was, we were working at housing designs, middle scale housing, and really working on things that will be test cases for as Oregon moves forward implementing a new law that's going to be increasing residential densities. And the students, I've always thought that our students do such amazing work and do it at such a level of thoughtfulness that you often don't see in the real world, that it's ridiculous to waste this. And so a lot of their projects will go forward in the future and become models as we start to implement this law in Eugene, and hopefully will influence the public debate about this in the next year. So I'm very proud of our students, a number of whom are here. We're having a graduation watch party here. And we've been trying to get together and get to meet each other a bit more before the school year ends. Not just my studio, but also I think I'd like to congratulate all the other students graduating. We know so many of you over the years you've been here. It's been a great experience getting to know you and have the honor of teaching you. And I echo what others are saying about go out into the world and do good with what you have learned. It's been an unusual year. Most things have been not as great as they could be, but there's one thing I think has gotten better with online education, and particularly in online commencement. Howard and I always used to hang out in the back of graduation in the sun, roasting out there and saying, good God, I want a gin and tonic, you know? And so you just couldn't do it. So this year we can. So I'd like to offer a toast to all the graduating students and say, go out there and do good work and stay in touch.
Thank you so much, Peter. And we now have our fifth terminal studio professor.
It's it's not the hooding, it's the headphoning.
The headphoning, Judith Shine.
So it's in your ears. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Peter, and welcome, Judith.
Hi, everyone. And I want to congratulate my students in my terminal studio and as Peter said, all the other students. And I do want to note that this is a very sad occasion because Peter is retiring and we will really miss him. But, you know, it's a very happy occasion for our students who, you know, the goal of the 5 years or 8 years or 9 years or however long they've been in school is to graduate, and that's what they're doing. So I want to congratulate all the students, and I particularly want to congratulate my students for, you know, sticking with this Zoom studio for an entire year, doing a ton of work, a ton of really, you know, I think amazing work, and nobody having a breakdown except, you know, Zoom, internet, computer, all the usual kind of things that do happen. You know, our studio focused on mass timber design, and some of you may know that we're at the infancy of developing mass timber buildings. Big buildings made out of tiny pieces of wood that can be sustainably forested and glued together to make giant strong pieces of wood and sequester carbon. So we're just at the beginning of it in the US. Oregon's the epicenter. My studio focused on it, and now my students have an amazing amount of knowledge about mass timber design beyond, I think, anything any students in the US might have. So I just want to say to them, go out into the world, most of you have jobs already, and sequester some carbon. Thank you.
Thank you to all of our studio professors who certainly none of us imagined we would be leading studios of any sort on Zoom, but especially to take projects of the complexity of these 5. It's quite astounding. And I got to see the work of many of these studios, and it is just absolutely thrilling. We're now going to have a few students who are going to give us a few remarks, and we're going to begin with Delaney Hetrick. Delaney, are you here?
I am here, thank you. So I want to begin by congratulating my fellow graduates. Getting to this moment has been a journey for all of us, and I think it is safe to say that there has been a little bit of blood, a little bit of sweat, and a little bit of tears, and for some, only a little bit of sleep in getting here. And I believe what got us here, though, is that none of us had to do this alone. We did this together. And as I reflect on the past 5 years we've spent in this program, I am truly overwhelmed by the amount of positive memories and experiences we have endured as a community. As a cohort, we have been there for each other through it all. We have celebrated each other at our highs and gave comfort at each other's lows. Together, we get through everything, even all of that seemingly endless structure's homework. And we are bound together by those countless studio hours that we got to spend together in person, which despite all of those long days and nights, we filled them with music and laughter. And although we have spent this past year apart, and I am sure like many of you, we can all agree that we miss seeing each other's physical faces in the halls of our second home, Lawrence, I am grateful that we have something to miss. Most majors do not share the camaraderie that we possess, and while it's been a bit of a dance translating that to Zoom University, we've persevered together. And I'm thankful to share these past 5 years with you all. And I would also like to take a moment to thank our teachers as well, for without their dedication to architecture and educating us, we would not be here today. It is wonderful seeing all of your faces today, and I am excited to see what the future holds for us all. Thank you.
Thank you, Delaney. We really appreciate that. We're now going to have Courtney Sieglow speak a little bit. Thank you, Courtney.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks. So in brief, our studio, or the terminal studio, was about systems thinking. It was about design thinking, the interconnected layers of architecture and the built environment. And it was focused, as Mark said, around the Port of Tillamook Bay in Oregon. but all of our projects reached so much further. It was an important project for many of us to conclude our education with. It zoomed way out and reminded us that architecture is more than a building. Our projects were about seaweed and fish hatcheries and drones and mycelium and education and forestry and food and water and so much more than envelope details, although there were envelope details. This term, this terminal studio and most of my graduate experience has not been what I anticipated. Architecture school was and is part of a much larger system. And this past year and a half, that included a global pandemic. COVID-19 took a lot from us, and architecture takes a lot from us. It takes our time, it takes our sleep. If we let it, it takes our confidence and mental health and relationships. And perhaps consequently, architecture takes a lot from the world. It takes space and land and resources and money and energy. It can be a huge sink in the system. But I believe, and I hope you agree, that architecture can also give back. It can provide energy, store water. It can nourish natural systems. It can foster community. It can give safe, healthy, equitable spaces for all. And in our studio, we got to envision that, explore that potential, and design a system where architecture was a positive contributor. Upon graduating, I will be considering what I can now give to the practice of architecture and how the architecture we design can give back to the greater systems around us. I implore you to do the same.
Thank you, Courtney. That was inspiring. We're now going to have Isaac Hadnut speak. Thank you, Isaac.
Isaac is not here. He should be off the list.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He's at the parade with everybody.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Allie Pope, are you here?
We have a video for her.
Okay, great.
Hello, everyone. My name is Allie, and wow, today's the day. Wow, what an honor it is to be graduating with all of you. As the first and hopefully only class to complete most of our terminal studios online, I just want to recognize the strength and resilience that carried us through the year to be here today. I know that these challenges have guided us toward becoming more thoughtful, flexible, and inclusive designers. I also know that this winter was truly the hardest term of any studio for me to complete. I thought with all the time in the world and nowhere to go, designing day in and day out would come easily, but as many of us may have discovered in our isolation, working from home without support can quickly become exhausting. But seeing our little cohort online 3 days a week certainly made it easier to stay committed to our goals. I want to celebrate our studio's support for each other and our endeavors, as varied as they were, and for our professor, Howard Davis. Without his headstrong words of encouragement, expert guidance, and delightfully dry sense of humor, we may not have been able to keep going as far as we did. Thank you, Howard, for all you are. As a final send-off, I'd like to offer you a few lines of poetry from a piece I wrote back in the fall, titled Hiking the Brownfield. Cities should boast their canopies like colonnades of pine, towering old things rooted deep on needle spires time. Nested, nourished fruiting bodies in brick and bark facades will carry forth on sprawling wind of patterns' primal flaws. So toast the ancient architects who painted earth life green. Chromatic solar cells respire the albedo of machine. Though fleeting is the mortal form, materials persist to grow again anew, alight, recycled urban bliss. I hope we all continue to find inspiration in the built and unbuilt beauty of this world. Congratulations, graduates.
It was great. Thank you, Allie. So what we now have is a recorded slideshow that recognizes several dozen students. It has an example of their work from the Terminal Studio. As this runs, I encourage you to watch. And before we start, I once again want to send a sincere thanks to Howard and all those who are involved in creating this. It is not easy to make a commencement that even attempts to capture all that we want to capture at this moment online. And I think this was a fantastic experience for all of us, and we really appreciate it. And again, to the families of our students and to our students, we are so deeply proud of you and appreciative and excited to see where you go. So please join us as we watch examples of student work from Terminal Studio. You'll see individual faces along with the projects, and have a wonderful graduation, everyone. Keep in touch. All the best. Thanks.
Jesus Christ.
Congratulations, everyone. We are so thrilled that we got to spend this time with you and so excited to see where you're headed. Enjoy your graduation. Have fun today and do great things. Talk to you soon.
Congratulations. Thanks, Michael.
Thank you all. Peter, are you bringing gin and tonics to everyone now?
Where's Howard? Howard, are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm very glad it went so well, and congratulations to everyone. And I'm going to go for a walk right now.
Well deserved, Howard.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thanks, Howard.
Thank you to everyone who helped. I had really great help from a couple of people, and they should be thanked as well. So
I see Adrian Bechtel here.
Adrian.
Congratulations, Adrian.
Yep.
Thank you for all your help with
And
this.
Jenna Wheeler as well.
Jenna, we really
Hey,
appreciate you stepping
Hannah
up.
and Mary. Hey, and Isaac. Hey, where's the party? You didn't invite me. I take that personal. Hannah, what's up?
Esther, come to our party.
Where is it? Bill, you didn't even think of me. Come on.
We're just down the street, Spring Boulevard.
Down or up? Do you have an address, or do I need to walk up and down Spring Boulevard?
I'll send it to you.
Yeah. Why so
Everything's
late,
ready.
Bill?
Anyone wants to come by.
Oh, okay. So, Maureen, where are you? Hannah.
I'm at Hannah's house.
We're
You
in
should
my
come.
backyard. Yeah. Hey, is that a new student culture that we are not invited anymore, or what's going on? Or did we do something so bad?
No.
Is that the final punishment or what?
No,
Not at all.
You should come.
Yeah. Or are you all planning to crash my place? Please don't do that. I just cleaned.
Yes. I'll walk over.
No, it's clean. Okay, anyway, a few party invitations would be good, okay?
I can't hear her. What she saying?
I say a few party invitations. I mean, that's not even something to say. That should be a given thing. I think all our education here goes down the hill. The most important thing is to stick together. Oh. Isaac.
Well, Howard, you did it.
Thank you.
Great job. Howard, thank you so much. If you need a drink, stop by.
I do need a drink, but thank you.
Good job, Howard. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Turn off the light. The party is over.
That's right.
Okay.
You just can't leave.
We all
I'm not turning off the lights until people.
Hi, Linda.
Hey, Linda.
Sorry, I didn't make it last night. We were already celebrating.
Linda and Judith, that looks like a great party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark, we did something wrong. We work in the same environment.
We work too hard.
You work too hard. Work hard, play hard. Everybody, bye.
See ya.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks again, everyone. Take care.
Thanks for doing this,
See you
Michael.
soon. Have a good summer if I don't see you.
Let's do this again tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. Every few days. Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think about that, Adrian?
Tomorrow I'm actually free.
I say no more. We're done.
You made yourself very free today. You did great.
Thanks. I sprinted for the front of the line the whole time. Got across the stage, got home, got here.
How was the parade?
Happened. Very crowded. Very crowded.
Okay.
Yeah, but I did it.
Good. Good.
Yeah, everyone was booking it for puddles.
Well, thanks for all your work on this. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
You're welcome. All right. Have a good weekend, everyone.
All right. Take
Bye-bye,
care.
everyone.
Yep,
Thank
bye-bye.
you.
Bye-bye.
I have the recording on, I'll have the recording on my computer, Howard.
Great, thanks. We'll talk.
And I'll email it to you after I've edited it.
Fantastic. That's great. Thanks. Okay, I'm going to say goodbye to everyone and turn it off.
All
Thanks.
right.